The IET is the Institution of Engineering and Technology. We're a membership organisation for engineers, and we've got over 160,000 members across the world. Our members come from lots of different sectors, so all the industrial and academic sectors that are involved in engineering, and we have loads of experts that we can then turn to and ask them to support us through the project work we do. So my role involves working with government and with industry, and what I'm trying to do is to support innovation to help meet the needs of society. And one of the ways we're doing this is by working with local authorities and helping them to find out about new and exciting innovation that's happening in the transport sector. So through our membership, the IET, we use the experts that we have in our membership to be thought leaders, and we work with governments, to influence the way policy is shaped in the UK. So we produced our local authority guide to emerging technologies in February 2017, and what we didn't want to do is produce a paper-based copy and a report, but what we did is produced a paper-based report. So what we want to make sure is that the knowledge that we're gathering is not just a static piece of knowledge, that it's something that's emerging and changing as technology changes, and we know how technology is changing very rapidly at the moment. So we want to keep these case studies coming in, we want to keep them fresh, we want to capture all the interesting things that are happening in local authorities and local transport, not just in the UK, but worldwide, and we want to share that knowledge with local authorities in the UK so they have an opportunity to see what's happening and what's innovative. So that we're working with lots of different companies to try and bring in that knowledge and capturing that on our website. And at the moment, we've just got a small area, but we're hoping to grow it. So in creating a hub where local authorities can come and they can find information that they think will be helpful for them and will help them to meet the policy challenges they've got, and also to help them hopefully save money.
The IET, the Institution of Engineering and Technology, has been working for a number of years across many engineering sectors and has a wide range of experience of engineering and technology across industry. And recently we've felt that there's a gap in how emerging technologies, how new technologies that are appearing in other industries are being brought into the transport sector. We felt that there was a real issue around local transport authorities, particularly understanding how new technology will evolve and will need to be delivered into transport. And there were particular issues around us moving from the proprietary ways that we've done technology in the past and the proprietary ways in which we've bought and installed things like traffic signals and variable message signs and other on-highway equipment. And we're moving into a world where that type of technology will be replaced by much more standard technologies around Internet of Things, around cloud computing, around open communications networks. And they all have great opportunities to allow local authorities to do things more cheaply, to do more of the things that they need to do, and to better ready themselves for new challenges that come along, such as automated vehicles, connected vehicles, and the types of connectivity that the public will growingly come to expect. The IET's wide range of experience in these technologies means that we can give a really wide insight for local authorities into how these technologies should be deployed. And this helps with the challenge of understanding where transport policy, where policy in general needs to go. In addition to that, there's an ongoing problem with local authorities reducing in size, and all local authorities are seeing reductions in their revenue budgets. And although the amount of capital money that the government makes available to authorities to build things is increasing, the amount of revenue money that authorities have to actually pay staff and to run projects is reducing. This consequently means that authorities are also losing skills, and the amount of engineers working in the public sector is reducing. The amount of experience and the amount of ability that authorities have to specify complex technical projects and to write briefs and to engage consultants and to undertake procurement exercises, these things are all reducing. So there's a real need for a simple guide to allow overworked local government officers with very wide-ranging portfolios to engage with engineering companies, to engage with consultants and suppliers, and to ensure that they deliver the right technology for today, and to ensure that as we move into the future and as more new systems and new paradigms in engineering come forward, that they're ready to adopt them. And the IET has a role to play in that. The IET can help authorities. And the guide for emerging technologies for local authorities that the IET has recently published in partnership with ITS United Kingdom is very much about doing that. It's not about detailed technology, it's not about detailed specifications. It's about highlighting some of the issues that authorities need to be aware of and that engineers working in authorities need to be aware of. And it showcases some best practice examples of places in the UK where fairly cheap and fairly simple but very innovative solutions have been brought to bear on traditional highways and transport problems. And solutions that illustrate thinking outside the box and looking into other sectors of engineering and technology to find solutions. And these are the types of things that we will increasingly have to do. And these types of technologies are increasingly going to replace the traditional, very heavily specified, very, very well understood technologies that we've bought in the past. So it becomes important for local authorities to have a wider view of technology, a wider view of what's happening in the industry. And the guide aims to help people do that, and it aims to not necessarily give people the answers, but allow people to start to understand the questions they need to ask. By doing that, the guide is working towards the agenda that's now forming around a UK policy for connected vehicles. Now, connected vehicles, of course, will start to appear on the road in great numbers from 2018, and then moving on from that, autonomous vehicles. And it's the case that because of many of the systems that local authorities buy have a 10 or 15-year life, we're already in a situation where authorities need to be procuring systems that can interface and support these new technologies and new types of road use and transport use that come forward. So the guide is aimed at throwing up some markers and helping people to understand this and understand the types of things they need to be thinking about, not just today, but for tomorrow as they buy technology. I think that the final point we need to be aware of as well is the changing way in which local authorities procure technology. And we're moving away from the traditional model of writing a specification, going to market and buying a solution. And we're moving more into a field where we're under pressure to buy services rather than hardware. Moving into a situation where we more readily look at systems rather than look at actual physical assets. And authorities need to be more aware of the ways in which they can use the procurement process to help them with that. And they need to be more aware of how they can use frameworks, how they can work in alliance with other authorities, how they can form partnerships and work collectively and form consortia, and use the procurement process in a much more agile way to buy the right things, to buy the right services, and to ensure that where they're buying services that last for a number of years, as a service does, it's not just about buying the systems and deploying them. Services is about paying for something over a number of years. Ensure that when they do that, they get best value for money, they get contracts that are flexible enough to allow things to change and so on and so forth. So the guide, again, has a commentary on that, and a commentary on how authorities should move from traditional procurement models based around buying assets to new procurement models around buying services and buying solutions in that manner.